Alright, we got this 2018 General, and this was in one of my previous videos, and we're going to take this thing out for a little spin, try going down the road, show you what the clutch is doing. It kind of goes on to the engine braking, and then it jumps off, and then it goes back on, so you got that off and on and kind of jerking you like that. So we're going to try to see if we can simulate that, and then we're going to throw a Dura Clutch on it and see what it does. All right. That's not you, right?
No, I'm not. See what I mean?
That would, yeah, that's jumping on and off pretty good.
It'll do it worse than that, I think. So,
Really?
yeah, creepy. I'll try it again.
Yeah.
In one range, it won't do it as much, but it will at times.
So that's as high. Yeah, get the heater working. Yeah, here we go. Of course, it's not going to do it this side. Yeah, now it's working just fine. Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Sometimes it does, sometimes it don't. It's like 50-50.
Yep.
This machine, sometimes, and of course right now it's doing it just fine, but sometimes you'll head down a hill and then you let off and it'll just start bucking. Yeah, it's not doing it right now. Oh, it just started to do it right as I got to the bottom of the hill. I'll go over here to this road and see if it'll do it on this road. Alright, so we got a little debris in the way here, but we'll just drive around that. Alright, let's see if it'll do it. No, it's holding back just fine right now. So if it was to hold back fine like this all the time, he probably wouldn't even have thought about getting a Dura Clutch, but since sometimes it starts bucking on him, and there it goes. See, I'm not even touching the throttle. It only did it a couple times, but on a long hill, he'll get it sometimes where it does that. There it goes. Oh, did it again. I see what he means. Anyway, he'll get on a long hill sometimes, and I think he'll just keep going. Just drives him up a wall. So if it was to do it like it is right now, see, it's just rolling down this hill just fine. I'm not touching the pedals, and it's doing great. And then that would not be a problem at all. So now we'll go back to the to his shop up there, and I'll show you the clutch real quick. We'll throw it on, do a little testing. Maybe before we go into the shop, I'll try to pull up on some logs or something like that to see how it does before and after with the Dura Clutch as far as climbing. Okay, this is without the Dura Clutch. See if it'll pull up on this log all right. Real easy. just fine. So DuraClutch is just gonna make it a little smoother. Like when you go to put it in gear. See, that's in neutral. Yeah, it jumps like that. We'll see if it does that after the DuraClutch. Okay, so here we are. We're gonna get ready to put this DuraClutch on the 2018. And I'll set it side by side when I take the stock ones off, but this is a little bit bigger than the stock clutch is. And you can see here, see how this will just spin either direction. And right in here, there's the clutches. Those clutches activate this. And then this one here will spin this way, but it won't spin this way. That's your engine braking. You go that way, but not that way. So when I get them out side by side, I'll show you. This here looks really similar to the stock one, and it comes with its own clutch, different bolts to go in it and everything. So we'll go over here. See, I got it jacked up. We'll go ahead and get that cover off of there and pull that clutch out of there, and we'll show you what they look like. So here's something I found interesting. Mine has, the XP has a heat shield. Let's see if I can hold this in this. It has a little heat shield right here on this cover, and this one doesn't. So I don't know if that's the difference between an XP or between an 18 and a 20. So I thought that was interesting. So here's just a quick look of what it looks like when I open this one up. The shivs look like they're in pretty decent condition. The belt doesn't look too bad, first look. You see, you still got the pucks in here. Those will be gone here in a minute. Nothing really jumps out at you as a problem in here. So, we'll go ahead and pop that off of there. Okay, here's what the two clutches look like next to each other. Primary. So the DuraClutch is a little bit taller. Well, that's showing up in the video. That's just a little bit taller. These here, you put them next to each other. They're pretty close. But you see on this DuraClutch one, it has this sticking out the back, and these are being held tight. This here, see how that's, those are loose when it's off the machine. This one, off the machine, they're tight. And it's got that piece on the back, so that's interesting. Look at the other side. It's just got a lot bigger hole right here, but it comes with its own bolt that goes on here, and a washer that has a taper on it, so when you tighten it up, it has a little load on it. This has got the round pucks in it, like this. Stock one still has the square pucks. Lay these next to each other this way. This one here, it has a one-way bearing. I can spin it that way, but I cannot spin it back the other way. This one doesn't have a bearing. It has this. This will spin one way, but not the other way. That spins that way, but not this way. So they're the same. They both have, DuraClutch has the flyweights in here, just like you do on a factory one. When you do a clutch kit, you know, you're changing these flyweights and you're changing that spring. So it is possible to do the same thing on the DuraClutch, but they say it's not usually necessary. But if you need to do some more fine tuning, you could change those flyweights out. Lots of holes for balancing this thing. And there's another shot of the clutch inside. And this one doesn't have any of that. So I think that's about the only difference is just looking at the two. Let's see the belt. Here's the original belt. Here's the new belt. They look about the same. Let's see here. The new belt is pretty close to the same width even. Might be just a hair wider, maybe. Talking thousandths of an inch. Okay, so we're going to put the secondary on, and then we'll put this new belt on. Then we'll take that primary, put it in the belt, put the primary on, and then you put the cover on and take it for a spin. All right, here we go. One of the things that's interesting is the torque on this is a lot lower than factory. Or maybe my XP has got a higher torque. I guess I should look that up and compare. It's 45 on the secondary and 60 on the primary. And they give you this Allen head bolt because they need it to recess in there a little bit because this clutch is a little bit taller than that other one, so it's going to be out close to the case. They say put the thing on and you got to tighten the top ones first and then the bottom. And if when you run it, you hear a little bit of rubbing, push on the case in different directions to see which direction makes it not rub. And then try loosening the screws and tightening them in that sequence. Whichever direction you're pushing, tighten first. Retighten them. And if it still rubs, then you probably have a warped case, they say. So I put that on there just like you would normal. Put the tool in here, spread that a little so that would go down. I was able to slide the primary on. Did a couple of spins. It ran up to the top. So we're ready to throw the cover on and see what happens. Okay, it's back on the ground. I'm gonna go for a test drive. And even with filming, that only took me 21 minutes. Okay, fired up. I'm gonna put this thing in low and see if it clunks. Nothing. Give it a little throttle. Oh man, smooth. Put it in high. Smooth. Put it in reverse. Well, there's a little bit of a clunk. Okay, and then we'll go back to low. No, we'll go all the way to high. Oh, that's nice. With mine, I will usually hold the brake a little bit, give it just a little bit of throttle to let the load go against the play that's in the transmission. That little kink, so that the gears are set, everything's got force against it, instead of giving it throttle and having it bang against the gears in there. This one had a little of that also, but now go neutral, go drive, no foot on the brake, just give it a little bit of gas. Just a little tiny clunk from it, the gears actually meshing in the transmission. Go back to reverse, smooth as can be, back to forward, smooth. All right, let's go down the driveway and see what it does. All right, we're rolling down the driveway. We're in high. See how the holdback is. Nice and smooth. I'm actually losing speed. All Alright, speed up a little bit. Alright, let's see here. We go turn around here. Back up the driveway, see what it feels like. Alright, let's go real slow here. Alright, in high, slight uphill grade. Not touching the brake, it's actually rolling backward. Slow pedal. Smooth transition coming on. I do like that. So give it throttle. Gets right on it. Alright, I'm going to put it in reverse, back up a little, unload the pressure on the transmission, put it back in drive, give it a little bit, see if it, very little. Man, that is a lot smoother. And then, let's see here, I drove up on this log in two-wheel drive, in stock form. Stock clutch. Pull up on this one now. Just as smooth, if not smoother. Come over here to this one. I drove up over here too before. Can't go up very high or it'll tip the machine over, but oh yeah, it just crawls up it. Okay, well, I think I'll take it down the road and see what it's like. High range, it's rolling down the hill at 22. Engine braking's kicking in, it's slowing down. Oh, you got a stick underneath it. That's great. Okay, I'll have to get that out here in a minute. Holding 20. Oh. That actually felt like it was kicking in like it downshifted. That's interesting. Alright, we gotta pull this stick out underneath here. Stuck between the A-arms. So yeah, I heard that some people say they feel it shifting. Well, I kind of felt that coming down there. Now going up the hill, and this is in high, I'm going 21 miles an hour. Pretty damn smooth. Come over here, try this little uphill, and then I might turn around and see how it goes down it. Little uphill here. That was nothing. See how it does going down it. I'm just wondering if the engine braking will make the rear tire skid at all. Alright, here we go. We're going to roll down it. Well, looked like it worked fine. Well, first impression, I'm going to get out of this machine here. First impression, they seem to do pretty good. It doesn't take very long to switch. It's just not very cheap. Be interesting. We'll be going out on a trip here together soon. Maybe we can compare the that to the XP that has the Dura Clutch in it now, and try to see the pros and cons when we get out in the open. See how it does. First impressions though, I like it.
That's got less engine braking. That's better. Way smoother.
So far, yeah.
I kind of thought it would have less too.
Yeah, so far the engine braking doesn't seem to be something that I wouldn't like. Like I said, when I went down there, when I filmed a minute ago, it's like when we go out together in a couple weeks here and we try them out and compare how the two are, you know, and see if we can find some hills where we can roll down. And that's what made me not want the Dura Clutch, because they said it had such a strong engine braking.
That's not strong at all.
No, I held 20 to 22 miles an hour going down this the whole time without touching the brake or the gas.
It's a different. I knew when I read the design, it's totally different than the stock. That's nice. I like this. It ain't jerking. It ain't too much. I'm still got to brakes on it. None of it is just for 6 degrees above the low range for the rest of the trip now. Oh, Jesus. That's less than it used to have.
Yeah. What I'm curious on is
And the belt ain't jerking.
if you get out on the open road where you're hauling ass and you go to let off, you know, if it's going to have engine braking there that works against you, or if it's so minor you can't even tell. I was wondering what this was. It kind of felt like maybe it was dragging a little on me. Oh, and that shifting feel that you were talking about.
You feel it?
I felt that downshifting as I was with braking. Those marks right there is braking. That's not accelerating.
Gotcha.
So it might be dragging a little bit, but on this you don't really know what it's doing. So I wonder, you know, high speed stuff.
Oh, I'm loving it.
Going down this with the stock engine braking, it would skid a little bit going down this.
Real funky. No throttle at all.
Yeah, the tires never stopped rolling. Let's see how it backs up it. Yeah, it doesn't turn it into another machine. Well, that was pretty good. It did slide a little bit, but it did not stop spinning. Okay, guys, so the conclusion so far is the DuraClutch gives you that nice smooth takeoff with the way those clutches are engaging. It comes on smooth so you don't get that clunk in the gear. I'd say good 75% of it is gone. Just on that initial testing, there was only a couple of times that you felt anything. It wasn't as hard as it was before the DuraClutch was installed, so that's a pretty nice feature. The only reason that he put this on was because of that jerking action, and he could go down the same exact spot like we were trying to show in the video, and joy of using an action camera. When we went down the hill the first time and it did the jerking, holding the camera, it smooths it out because the action camera is designed to do that. So it didn't really show on the film, but it did do a little jerking. It kicked like this, and I know that those engine braking setups on there, sometimes they'll drop out of the shivs onto the brake and then back on the shivs, and it can do that. But when you're going down the exact same spot, going the exact same speed, and sometimes it works real smooth and sometimes it does that jerking, that's the part that's annoying. And if you're getting to that low speed and it drops off and catches and drops off and catches, I've heard of that, but his situation wasn't quite like that. So he went for this DuraClutch, and we'll be going out and doing some stuff, and hopefully I'll have some updates in the future on how it performs out at speed and in real world. And I'm sure eventually we'll be in some muddy terrain, see how it does going downhill and in muddy stuff, and compare that to how the XP does. I know they're different machines, but it gives us an idea of the performance of the DuraClutch. So far I like it. So I hope this is helpful. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Hit that little bell notification so you get all my videos. And we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks again.